What's up, guys? It's here, Fish Bottle here to do a quick OP-12 card review and just my quick thoughts on all these cards and leaders. So let's get started here. We got mono red leader, Silver Israeli. I think this leader's pretty good, just like a generic aggro red leader that can just play out good value bodies that can swing for like 6/7s or something every turn with leader, so you're swinging like twice a turn. Solid aggro. Vanilla 2K searchable, playable, I suppose. I feel like this card is just not good enough. It's very meh for what it does. Probably better bodies would be playing in Rayleigh. I don't think you'd play this in any other deck. Same with this card. I think there's better cards that you can play in Rayleigh, and it seems like you only can play this card in Rayleigh, so probably doesn't meet the mark. Vanilla, no good. This is a searcher for Rayleigh. Searches Monkey D. Luffy's or red events, so I can see this being played in Rayleigh for sure. Must have. Maybe you can play this in Red Yellow Sabo if you load up on the Luffy's. This card's very good. I think this is too situational to be playable. I think this card is pretty good here. It's a very well statted blocker that makes anything in your hand a 2K. It's nice. Seems like you only can play this card in Rayleigh, and it gets a rush and becomes a 5K. I think this is probably like a sneaky choice you can put into Rayleigh, but more often than not, I think Zoro or like Kid Killer would probably just be a better choice. I think, to be fair, this is Zoro. So could be fine. Vanilla 2K probably searchable. Okay. Vanilla not good. I think this is too situational as well to be playing in any deck. And typically red doesn't really need a way to survive with blockers. If you're gonna do that, probably just play events instead, like Rad Beam or something, Divine Departure. Seems like you only can play this card in Rayleigh again, and it reveals, gives 2 Rest of Dawn. It's a body that like doesn't swing if you use this effect, so I just think it's probably too slow. Boa, it's a searcher, searches a Monkey D. Luffy or red event, and then also has activate main the trash and give 2 Rest of Dawn to one of your leader characters. This is one of like the very efficient bodies that Rayleigh has. It replaces itself in hand and gets additional value after it swings because you're gonna be losing the body anyway. Getting 2K power on something else is just good. So I think this card's very good. Again, I guess you can also play this in Red Yellow Sabo if you load up on Luffy's and just also play events. This card's very good as well. It's basically a 6K body, usually, and it cheats on another body while giving a Rest of Dawn. So lets you establish more bodies to keep swinging like 2 swings every turn, 3 swings every turn. Very nice. This is like an anti-block tool. Can make something unblockable. It's like Diablo. So, and it's a 2K. This is very great. Very awesome. This is a searcher for an event or a character, cost 3 or above. Very good for sure. Goated. This is a counter event, then plus 2K, and then you can give all your opponent's leader and all their characters minus 1K for the turn. All very good for a defensive tool, and it's an event to reveal. It's like a buff on your turn, a little buff on your turn, or 2K. I think this card's also very good. Like, you need it to fill the event requirements in the deck, And this is just basically plus 2k to something. It's nice. Zoro, this leader is very good. It's like an Unga Bunga leader. It's got a very, like, not generic, but straightforward game plan. And if your opponent can't deal with it, you kind of just win the game. And most of your power is built into your leader, so it's not like they can remove your board to really stop your game plan. Your game plan is still going to keep going. So I think it's a very good leader. This is a blocker that can't be rested. You have 6 or more rested Dawn cards. I think just because it costs 3, it's just too slow and just not well, like, costed here. Just so that you can play around like Hody or Ashura type effects. This is support for Carrot. Lets you activate main to rest it and then like stun a guy that costs 5 or less. Gives him another body and then another thing that stuns. That's searchable in the deck, so I think it's pretty playable in Carrot. Probably not in any other deck though. Searchable 2k, good. This card's pretty interesting. I think this is like a low-key underrated card, I would think. Because it has protection from being KO'd. It's a 4 for 5 with counter, which is fine. And with Zoro, when you usually have 3 given Dawn cards to, like, usually on your leader, just to get the leader effect, you get to rest a 6, and then you can swing into it with your leader. It seems like pretty good, but there's also probably better stuff to be playing in the 4 cost slot. So, unfortunately, I think it falls a little bit short, but I think it has potential. Vanilla, don't play this. Quina, this is like one of the cards in the 4 cost slot that I was talking about. It just rests a 4 or less, and you give 3 rested Dawn to your leader, and you can swing into the body to swing into life. And it's a pseudo blocker because they have to get rid of this card. Or not have to, but like they do want to get rid of this card. It's just too much value if you get another use out of it. Koshiro, this card's insane because it just protects your slash characters from being KO'd. And it's a blocker for 2. And it's got counter. Crazy. This is the searcher for slash cards or events. For green events. Just very good. For Zoro specifically. This is a 2k with a effect that might come up. Like to get rid of chump blockers. So I think this is very good as well. Because it's searchable. This is just insane because you play this guy for basically 4 Dawn. And it's a blocker and it's an 8k. Very good. Tashigi, this card's insane because it rests a 6 or less, and you give 3 rested Dawn to Zoro, you swing into it, and then you swing into life. Just so crazy. I think it's the strongest card in Zoro. 2k searchable, good. This card's just like too slow, it doesn't do anything, basically, and it's like a defensive tool. It's also got no counter. Just falls too short. I don't think anyone would play this. This is the searcher for slash attributes or green events if your leader is slash. I think this is also a very good card. You can just play this in like any green slash leader, which is nice. I think Zoro Sanji's slash. I think Zoro's definitely slash. Red Green Smoker might be slash. I don't think so though. I'm not sure, but just a very good searcher. Vanilla, don't play it. This card's pretty insane too, just because in the Zoro mirror match, it's searchable and he can't be KO'd by battle, and it's just a very well statted body because it's a 4 for 6 if you're a slash attribute, which is awesome. This event's just insane. Just rest 2 things, and it's versatile. You can just use this for counter as well. Very good. Rashomon draw. This is like to counteract aggro in your decks, and it's also going to be used as power. I think this card is good, but it's like a meta call card, right? It's like if you're expecting to run into a lot of aggro decks with low cost characters that you can play. It's searchable technically because there's a lot of green event searchers revealed in this set. So I think it's nice to have. It's a Straw Hat Crew, which is also nice. This is just like I'm Invincible, but for Zoro. Very insane. And it's got a trigger too. Crazy. Kuzan. You get to basically cycle every time you discard a card. It's a 5 life leader. I think it's okay. This leader's okay, but you just kind of don't have a win con. Your win con's kind of like play big bodies out and just survive until then, which is just way better done by like a Nell. Just play like a Nell instead or something, because like there's no removal in this deck really, or there's like a little bit, but you have to play the removal spells. But other than that, your win con just kind of like playing big bodies and getting card advantage. This one's like an early game cheat out events, Straw Hat events that get like some value, kind of like search or like KO with something small or draw, I guess. It's okay. Just like what's bugging me is that it's a 4-life leader. I feel like it just gets owned too quick. But yeah, I think it's also a meh leader. If there's more support later on, I think it'll be pretty good. Everything depends on support here. This card's just not very good with the other buggy cards that we got from the starter deck. It's just way better options than this one, so I don't think it's playable. This card's good. Has like anti removal with +1 cost, which is interesting. Lets you cycle in Kuzan and stun a thing. It's just a big body. It's a pretty good card. This card's pretty good too because you draw 2 on play, and then you can cycle 1 if you're playing Kuzan, and then it allows you to use Rest of Dawn. Just another big body you can be playing out. Vanilla, don't play that. This is like a searchable 2K that cycles if you're in Kuzan, and is technically removal here. That you can get a bounce effect. So I think this is pretty nice as well, for sure. This card's like a +2. It's a cycle, and then you search for 2. So, just awesome. That's very nice. There's a +1. Yeah, it's a +1 in a cycle. Very good. Very good early game play. This is a protection effect for your other blue navy characters, which is nice, and it's on a 1 cost, which is pretty cool. But I think the hardest part is finding space for this card. That would be my only gripe with it, but it seems like a solid card for sure. Vanilla 2K searchable, cool. I give vanilla blocker. Not good enough, probably. Searchable 2K that you can cycle if you're playing Kuzan and make something can't block. I think it's very good in Kuzan. And very good in any blue navy deck, maybe. But this one is a vanilla, this one's bad. This card is basically like the black Borsalino that we got back in OP-2 or OP-04, I forget. But yeah, it's like a side grade to that, and it's in blue. But we don't even play the black one, so we probably won't play this one. This card's just bad. This card's not very good. So, don't play this guy. A searchable 2K, another one for buggy. Cool. This guy cheats out another body and cycles 1 if you're playing Kuzan. I think it's got a very good card. This is an insane card. It's a 1 cost +4K, and then you cycle 1 if you're playing Kuzan. And you basically draw 2 with the trigger if you're playing Kuzan, which is awesome. This cheats out a white beard from your top of your deck, and it gets rush. I think it's just too. It's like it's just not worth a slot in the deck because it's a brick. I think. I don't think it's very good. This is the event you can play for Sanji. Becomes a 4K counter, or you can cycle with it. It's okay. This one bounces a 4 or draws 2. I think this is very good in Sanji for sure, and probably very good in any deck that where your leader is multicolored. If you want to play slower games, just peel off. It's better peel off, so that's nice. This one is just like a law tribal deck, which is really funny. You cheat out laws, and it has protection. You can protect your laws by taking your life. It's nice. It's interesting leader for sure. I think it's okay. It really depends on like the supports. Searchable 2K. If you're Sanji, it ramps you and you draw. Replaces itself. Nice. Good card. So it becomes a 7K blocker. That's a 9 cost on field. It's got counter. I think this is a very good card in Sanji. Vanilla. I think this card is meant to be played in Sanji, but it seems kind of like, I don't know if you would play it. It just seems a little bit lackluster. And if he just had like blocker, like if the requirement was a little bit easier to reach, like I would consider playing this card in like other purple decks that can play giant, like RP and UP. That seems like funny to like recycle giants, but probably just doesn't make the cut. That's also same reason here. It's a chump blocker that becomes a blocker you have former events. I mean, this might be okay if like Sanji needs chump blockers, but I'm not sure if he does. Vanilla 2K, nice. I think this card is a little bit too slow. Doesn't really do anything when you play it, and then like it turns your Dawns into 2Ks by minusing in the late game. So it's a free 2K counter every turn in the late game after this is established, but it has like no protection or anything, so it's costing on no counter, so just don't like it very much. Don't think it's very good. This is meant for Sanji. Gets plus 1K power, providing events and trash. Realistically, I feel like it's like a 7K and rarely an 8K from what the cards I've seen for Sanji is. But it's got protection, so that's pretty cool too. Very good card in Sanji for sure. This is a searcher for Sanji or event cards, so made to be played in Sanji, so very good. This is a rush card they can play in Sanji, which I think is okay. Just like Sanji seems like a very early game deck, so innate rushers seem good, and purple doesn't have a lot, and this is a way that he can get one, so I think this is okay. This is a law that ramps you and then makes all your Heart Pirates and Do Quixotes Rosinante plus 1K power, so it makes your leader 6K. Or yeah, I think it makes your leader a 6K, or maybe it's only characters. If it doesn't, either way, this card's kind of underwhelming. Like, I just doesn't do enough. Even if you can cheat it out for 5, just feel like it doesn't do enough. Searchable 2K probably, that lets you trash an event, develop that trash to ramp you. Very good. This one ramps your opponent by KOing a 3 and you Dawn minus to play it from life. I think this card is bad. Searchable 2K, good. Buffs a law by 2K power. This is perfume. This is perfume, femur, but for laws specifically. specifically. Seems okay, like a one of. Another Sanji event. Draw a card, give something minus 3k. Seems fine, because you can cheat it out for -1 Dawn. And it replaces itself. It seems good. This is a searcher. Searches any card. That's nice. For sure you play this in Sanji. For sure. Good card. This is interesting. It's like an event searcher for Sanji, which I think is good enough to be played. Koala, this one draws a card if you swing at their life, if you have 2 characters 8 cost or more, and every time they play an 8 cost character, or when they play a character using an effect, they take a life. I think it's a very interesting leader, and like solid on its own, and really depends on its support to be good. So it's okay. Vanilla, don't play. 2k, searchable, it's alright. This one fills your trash, which is good, and it's a blocker for a Rev Army, which I think is good. I think it's a solid blocker that does enough on play to be useful. This is for Koala, it's an 8 cost, and you can just make some trash a card on swing. I think is nice. You can play this in Red Black Sabo as well. That's a searcher. I think it's very good, playable. These cards also insane for the leaders it's playable in. So good blocker at 7k blocker is very nice. And trash is 2. You trash 1, they trash 2. Very good. Vanilla, don't play. This one is a 8 cost for Koala that will get value later in the game. Like after you get 2 8 costs on the field, and you can start like swinging and drawing cards, and then you can like block with this to get rid of a 4. It's nice. I think it's very playable. This is a searchable 2k that mills you, and it's a reducer. It's playable because it's searchable 2k, which is cool already. I don't know if there's any removal decks that would want to play this. It's like you can try playing it in Lucci, because the 2Ks in Lucci are like you can change them out for your preference. You just have to spend a turn setting this up. But I think if you wanted an effect like this, the Tashigi is probably better. But you know, I think it's a good card. This is just a bad card. I don't know why they printed this. Searchable 2k, cool. 2k and becomes 8 cost for Koala, very good. This card's insane. Bomb the 3 Rev Army and to revive a 6 from your trash as long as you are a Rev Army leader. So Red, Black, Sabo, and Koala, very good card. It's a cycler, an 8 cost, and it can cycle. I don't know. I think this card's like okay. I don't think I would play it though. KO costs 4 less. If you have a character that costs 8 or more, you can select when a character costs 6 or less instead. This is interesting. I like it. Yeah, I like this card. I think it's okay. Don't know where you would play it in, but I think it's a solid card. It's kind of like Finger Pistol, but it gets better if you have an 8 cost. So like, you establish a Jack, and then you KO a 6 for 4? Not bad, not bad. It's got some potential. Searcher for Rev Army, good. Plus 1k, so it's plus 4k counter if you have an 8 cost. I think it's good if you need to be more defensive, but Koala's not a super defensive deck, I feel like. So is like red black Sabo unless you're on like a starve type list. So I think it's playable if you're in a starve list for red black or Koala, which I think is okay. Calgara cards are very good for the deck for Calgara. Lets you get more cards while aggroing your opponent down. It's nice. This card's very good in Koala and Enel, I think. Good statted blocker and lets you take a life, draw 2, trash 1. Very good, especially in Enel that you want to be in low life anyway. This card just I don't think is very good. This card I think is very good for Shirahoshi, which is meant for, but Shirahoshi's just not very good of a deck. So very good card. Leader's just not very good, I think. Searchable 2K in Calgara, good. Meh, I don't think it's good. Again, kind of meh. I don't think this is good. This is like a block you can cheat out for 4. It's okay, I guess. This is like a pretty good body for yellow. It's like feels nice, so you need the rush. I don't think you would typically play it in a Nell unless you were a like rush down variant, aggro variant of a Nell. But other than that, I don't think this card will see play in any other deck. Searchable for laws. A searcher for laws. Very good. It's not good. Not good. Not good. This one I think is pretty good. Lets you to 2K. That's searchable in some decks. And if you're multicolored, you can draw 2 for a trigger. I think it's pretty good if the point is like you just need another 2K to slot in. This card is also kind of okay, but it's like this is pretty interesting and like green yellow law, definitely playable. I feel like this is a good one to use. Lets you cheat out another supernova card. Like you can play it like a blocker, you can play it like a beige, you can play it like a searcher. I think it's pretty nice. It's a 5 for 6. Definitely just playable in green yellow law. I think any other deck probably not. I think it's searchable 2K and Calgara good. This is a plus 2K counter, then you can add a law back or trash the hand. I'm thinking the deck is probably pretty good. Maybe like a 1 or 2 of. This is a searcher for the Calgara deck, which I think is very good because it can search Monblock Noland. Very nice. This one's very cool because it's like kind of like Raigo, but only gets rid of a 9 cost, and it's very good for starve for like Enel specifically, and it's also got the counter that you can use your counter instead, so very versatile. This card's pretty good. It lets you cycle, and it's a good statted blocker, so it's very nice. And so it's Dawn active, so good, very good for Bonnie. This Kuma card's insane. It's got counter, which I think is absurd. Lets you heal, and when it dies, it heals again, and it has like kind of protection from removal because it becomes an 8 cost. So I think it's awesome. Very good card. And these SPs just look very sick. And this looks sick too. And that's the treasure rare. So, but I think it looks very nice. That's the quick review. Maybe it wasn't that quick, but let me know what y'all think about the cards. Agree, disagree, and what leader you're most excited for OP-12. Alright, see y'all later.